Now that should work. I forgot to change the stream title. Let's see. Am I not live? Should be live. It's not saying I'm live, though. What if I refresh? There we go. Start watching. Come on. There we go. There we go. Okay, I muted the wrong thing, but that should be good now. Alright, let's go ahead and post on Discord. And everyone, I'm just going to post the name of the stream. At this point, y'all already know what it is, so it's fine. Second Maleternal, 1996. Boop. Close that down. Move that over here. And go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the worst show I make. It is SACing Maleternal. Sorry I've been gone for a little bit. I got a new job, and it has been taking some of my time and some adjustment. But of course, this is the show where we go through every single anime ever made, and then I read the description, and then I find out what anime has come out across all of time that is actually worth watching. There we go. I have some Powerade. Because I don't need enough salt. So, I need to supplement my electrolyte intake. Alright, let's kick us off with 1996. Honestly, I'm really tired and I want to go to bed and it's kind of late. So, hopefully this won't take too long. With good old Dragon Ball GT. That's right, Grand Tour. I think it doesn't actually stand for Grand Tour. I think that's just the American opening, but but fuck it. Who cares? Emperor Pilaf and his friends has his hands on the Black Star Dragon Balls after years of searching, which are said to be twice as powerful as Earth's normal ones. Pilaf is about to make his wish for world domination when he's interrupted by Goku's son. As a result, Pilaf flubs his wish and accidentally turns Goku back into a child. After the wish is granted, the Black Star Dragon Balls scatter across the galaxy. However, Goku discovers that this will cause the Earth to explode unless they're all brought back within a year. Uniting his granddaughter Pan and young adult Trunks, Goku sets on an adventure through the universe to find the Black Star Dragon Balls and save his planet from destruction. Dragon Ball GT was produced by Toei Animation with minor involvement from Akira Toriyama, who assisted in creating the show's premise and designed most of the new villains and main protagonists. Toriyama referred to the series as a grand side story of the original Dragon Ball. So that one phrase has caused a lot of contention in Dragon Ball, and a lot of people want GT to not be canon, and it's always been sort of ambiguous of whether it is or not, but now at this point, due to Super, Dragon Ball canon is just complete and utter nonsense. There really is functionally no canon anymore in Dragon Ball. Like, the concept of canon in Dragon Ball has shot itself, so who fucking knows what's going on with GT. Since GT was contentious, I think what would be prudent is to, at the very least, you gotta bring in Super Saiyan 4. You gotta bring Super Saiyan 4, and I really think they should just, like, do what they did with Broly, just bring it up to the modern, like, super standards and stuff. And I think that's best what GT should do. You gotta have Super Saiyan 4 because it's the best transformation. But some of the aspects of it were sort of weak. I will acknowledge that. Anyway, I've already seen it, so I don't need to mark it down. How are you doing, Maid? Yeah, I've been a little busy because I got a new job and it's taken some adjustment. I want to start streaming regularly again, but when I say regularly, I mean like I want to stream at least once a week would be the idea, but I think the days are going to have to change around periodically. So the schedule's about to not exist, but I want to stream more consistently, I should say. I went to a concert. What was the concert? Anyone I'd ever heard of? Other than that, playing P3 Reload. I consider playing P3 Reload. And then I didn't play that. I played something else instead. Alright, we're going on to Rurouni Kenshin. Meiji Kenkaku Ramen-tan, or Rurouni Kenshin. Rurouni Kenshin is an anime. Oh, right. In the final years of the Bakumatsu era lived a... Do I have to review this? Hold on. I reviewed this, didn't I? I reviewed the first, half of this show. Do I need to read the synopsis for this? Okay, whatever. The Bakumatsu era lived a legendary assassin known as Hitokiri Batosai, feared as a merciless killer. Excuse me. He was unmatched throughout the country, but mysteriously disappeared at the peak of the Japanese Revolution. It has been 10 years since then, but the very mention of the Batosai still strikes terror into the hearts of war veterans. Unbeknownst to them, Batosai has abandoned his blood-stained lifestyle in an effort to repent for his sins, now living as Kenshin Himura, a wandering swordsman with a cheerful attitude and a strong will. Vowing to never kill again, Kenshin dedicates himself to protecting the weak. One day he stumbles across Kaoru Kamiya at her kendo dojo, which is being threatened by an imposter claiming to be Batosai. After receiving help from Kenshin, Kaoru allows him to stay at the dojo, and so the former assassin temporarily ceases his travels. Rurouni Kenshin, Meiji Kenkaku Ramen-tan, tells the story of Kenshin as he strives to save those in need of saving. However, as enemies from both past and present begin to merge, he'll be reformed. Will the reformed killer be able to uphold his new ideals? This show is legendary, and I watched about half of it, and it's like mid. It's mid as shit. Local band? Okay. Hey, Kato, how are you doing tonight? Welcome to the worst show I make. Kenshin, the anime and manga I love, but I can't express because the author is a piece of shit. Wow. Let me tell you something. Y'all know I'm a big Kanye West music fan. That man is crashing out legendarily. I heard that he has a Super Bowl ad where he's selling swastika shirts. Let me tell you, I feel you, mate. I fucking feel you. Holy shit, dude. I watched the first 3 episodes of the original and 2 of the reboot. I haven't seen any of the reboot. I watched, 44 episodes of this. The pacing's really quick. The pacing's really quick, though, because it doesn't feel like I've seen 44 episodes. But I would also argue that Kenshin is pretty fucking forgettable if I've seen 44 episodes. Dude is off his fucking rocker. He's passing on the leg. Yeah, I think what's happening is I think he had a manic episode. I think he had a manic episode, and then I think that led him to the galaxy gas. And then what I think has happened at this point is his brain is fried. What you need to know is, nitrous oxide, it doesn't take a lot. It does not take a lot to fuck you for life. And he has, tanks in every room. So I think what happened is he had a manic episode, turned to nitrous oxide, and has just fucked his brain. Kanye West, I'm going to say this, all right? I wouldn't wish death on anyone. The man will die soon, is what I am saying. Kanye West has fried his brain a long time ago. I think there was some intention before when he said controversial stuff. I think, with the whole Taylor Swift thing, a decade, 2 ago, something like that. First off, I think he was just drunk. I think he was having an episode, but I don't think he meant anything by it in some of the earlier incidents. But I think lately, his recent antics are just straight up his brain is gone. People are being oh, he's autistic, or he's bipolar, and I'm like, no, I think it's the drugs. I think it's the drugs. I think his brain is fried by drugs now. I think he's on drug crazy. All right, let's move on to. Thank you. Main Tante Conan. Case closed. I know this more as Detective Conan than anything. Local band I saw is funny, trying to explain singer guitar was white dude with dreadlocks. The bass player was dressed like a cowboy. The drummer was a goth girl. Despite the weird mix, they played like normal metal music. Because all of those are the most metal thing possible, obviously. Shinichi Kudo, a high school student of astounding talent and detective work, is well known for having solved several challenging cases. One day, Shinichi spots two suspicious men and decides to follow them. He inadvertently becomes witness to a disturbing illegal activity. Unfortunately, he's caught in the act, so the men dose him with an experimental drug formulated by their criminal organization, leaving him to his death. However, to his own astonishment, Shinichi lives to see another day, but he's now in the body of a 7-year-old child. Perfectly preserving his original intelligence, he hides his real identity from everyone, including his childhood friend Ren Maori and her father, private detective Kogoro Mori. To this end, he takes on the alias of Conan Edogawa, inspired by the mystery writers Arthur Conan Doyle and Ranpo Edogawa. Oh my god, when they just write it outward, that explains a lot. Wow. Shinichi as Conan starts secretly, I guess it would be Conan. It actually is Conan. Solving the senior Maori case from behind the scenes with his exceptional sleuthing skills, while covertly investigating the organization responsible for his current state, hoping to reverse the drug's effects someday. In 2003, Funimation licensed the first 104 episodes of the series for the North American production, and the name case closed. They later decided to stop pursuing more episodes past 123 due to poor sales. In 2014, Crunchyroll obtained the license to simulcast episodes of Conan on their website, starting with episode 754, winner of the Animation Award Dive Award of the 2010 Japanese Movie Critics Award. Kanye is going out sad. He's like the greatest mind in music for a decade. Yeah, no, you're not wrong about that. Yeah. I think it comes from like something that he has expressed right before this most recent and long-running and exceptional mental breakdown. Was he like expressed his concern that he can only make music when he's off his meds, or he can only make good music when he's off his meds. So it seems like he was worried about the quality of his music, so he took himself off of his medication, and he just I have to assume he never got back on it, because holy shit. Okay, so Detective Conan, even like 4 years ago, he was still brilliant. What did he make 4 years ago? Was it... Donda was pretty fucking good, but Donda was part of this goddamn crash out. Like, Donda wasn't a separate crash out. It's just been like one long-running insanity. What was 4 years ago? 4 years ago would have been 2001? What did he do in 2001? 2001 was, what, Jesus is King? Jesus was King was a little... Oh, no, 2001 was Donda. Okay, no, you're right. Yeah. Donda was good. Honestly, you should have stopped at Donda. If we're being real. Maybe he should have stopped after he made Donda. I like his first album, and that's it. You know, I'm honestly... There's a charm to his first album, but I'm honestly not the biggest fan of it. I feel like half the crash out leading up to Donda was playing for Barry. No, because that was when he had his divorce. Because Donda came out after his divorce. I feel like the Donda crash out was completely legitimate. Zach living in 2005. 2005 was an okay year. Anyway, yeah, Detective Conan, case closed. I hear the show is actually really good. I've never watched it. Because it's stupid long. It's literally longer than One Piece. Wouldn't know, I was like 3. I say that, I could not remember a single fucking thing that happened in 2005, if I'm being real with you. But yeah, supposedly this was pretty fucking good. But yeah, it's like longer than One Piece. I can't be fucking bothered. It's like a mystery series, and I have trouble. Like, it seems like this would be very episodic, and we all know how I feel about episodic stuff. So maybe one day I'll check out Conan, but for now, I'm gonna pass on it. I'm gonna pass on this big boy. George Bush won in a second term despite everyone hating him. I don't remember that election. That was 2004. I do not remember that. I remember Bush winning his original election. I don't remember his second election. All right, this is Gegege no Kitaro 1996, or Spooky Kitaro. What the fuck happened in 2000? I don't know. Y'all want to find out? Let's go to 2005. We'll find out. Here we go. 2005, baby. They discovered Eris. That was pretty cool. Wasn't that like YouTube and shit? I mean, fucking maybe, but we're looking for the real shit. North Korea announces it possesses nuclear weapons as protection against hostility it says it perceives from the United States. Yeah, but it didn't. It didn't get nuclear weapons until way later. YouTube started, which is kind of cool. I don't know what the Kyoto Protocol was. China ratifies the anti-secession law. This is a lot of nothing, if we're being honest. Pope John Paul II dies. And then Benedict the 16th, apparently, came in. I remember Benedict the 16th died. I do not remember Pope John Paul II. Me at the zoo. That was fun. Fucking maybe nothing. Maybe not. Maybe YouTube. Maybe YouTube happened and that's it. Maybe that was the only. Oh my god! Hurricane Katrina makes landfall. Oh shit! I was there for that. Holy shit! That would explain why I blocked the year out, I guess. Oh, fuck yeah, that's when all my childhood friends died. Okay, well, we found something. Let's see. North Korea agrees to stop building the nuclear weapons they never had. That's fun. Rosa Parks died. Oh, I remember that happening. Yeah, I remember that happening. I had to write a report about Rosa Parks, actually, because of that. Xbox 360 released. Okay, that was kind of cool. And I guess Chad starts a civil war. Okay, so that's what happened that year. Well, anyway, Kitaro, a ghost, spends his afterlife helping humans in need of his skills. He thwarts his plans of evil spirits who live to torment humanity. This time, Kitaro's friend Megami is in need of his help. Her father, a botanist, went to Baruru Island to study plant life there and was subsequently kidnapped by evil spirits. It's up to Kitaru to save him. 360 release was not, in fact, cool. Yeah, but it was the shitty 360 that broke when you touched it wrong. I still own one of those shitty 360s that break when you touch them wrong. The 360 was a fucking good console in that it had a lot of good games on it and not in that it didn't break every 6 seconds. Is what I'll say about the 360. Anyway, yeah, this is another iteration of Gegege no Kitaro, which happens every 5 fucking years. Every 5 years they make a new Kitaro. So, what do we got? You want a good one? I don't, but I got an Xbox One, which can play all the 360 games, so I'm actually good. I actually wouldn't mind at some point in the future getting a Series X, just so I can play everything, but I don't I don't feel like the real issue I have with getting the Series X is like there's fucking nothing on that console, and there was barely anything on the Xbox One. So my Xbox One is essentially an Xbox 360 with like a fancy upgrade to it, which is also, fun fact, what I'm using the PS5 for, because there's nothing fucking on the PS5. I own a single PS5 game. And everything else I just use to play PS4 games. And the only reason I bought the PS5 is because my PS4 broke. Like, the PS5 is just such a fucking nothing console. Do you know, I heard this, they're planning on making a PS6 soon? They must be out of their fucking mind. The PS5 adaptation rate is not viable enough to try and swap consoles. Like, if they try to drop PS6, you might be seeing Sony take a massive blow. I just used my Xbox girlfriend's Xbox Ones for 360. Yeah, I feel like the Xbox One was supposed to be this all-in-one like system that could do any sort of media play, and what it ultimately turned into for most people was the fancy 360. The PS5 was built for multiplayer games. It certainly was, and gaming moved in that direction. But then what most game companies have found out is that although multiplayer games are still popular, it's really hard to make a good one, and there's been a major resurgence in single-player titles. So it was a massive fall-off. Like, they kept putting their eggs in the wrong basket. And they still haven't learned their lesson, is the weird part. So this is the same Xbox One that you thought was a Blu-ray player for the longest time? I mean, I can use it to play Blu-rays, so yes, it is a Blu-ray player. I'm not fully... Excuse me. There you go. Yes, it is a Blu-ray player. That is my declaration. It's my personal Blu-ray player. Yusha Shirai Dagwon. Brave Commando Dagwon. A huge space monster appeared in city and began to destroy the city. People were escaping and screaming. Among them, there were 5 high school students. En, Kai, Shin, Yoku, fuck you, Ryu. However, they failed to escape. They rushed to a patrol car nearby. The monster was approaching them. When they began to accept their death, the control car glowed blue, white, and disappeared into a mysterious space carrying them. When they were astonished, it was an alien that appeared in front of them. He was a Bravian, who's an officer of the space police organization that was responsible for the peace and order of the universe. He explained to them that he aimed by ferocious aliens in the space prison Sargoso. He added that he had given them the battle machine, the Dag Beagle, made by copying machines on Earth in order to fight against Sargoso. They turned into Dagwon by the power of Bravian and fought against space monsters. At that moment, the patrol car came in front of En, who grew into a car and turned into Brave Robot Dagfire, then beaten the enemy. However, the fight between Brave Dagwon and the felonious aliens of Sargoso had just begun. I cannot believe it is the year of our Lord 1996 and Super Robo bullshit is still coming out. One of the reasons the OG 360 failed was because it couldn't read Blu-ray. Yeah, wasn't it like HD DVD? I understand why Xbox thought HD DVD would be the thing, but what a fucking misread. I love my 360 would just sit in Halo Reach custom lobbies and just run around and take in the atmosphere. There's a lot of good games that were on the 360. I probably own more 360 games. No, okay, I own more Steam games than anything, but I probably own more 360 games than any other type of game. The Darkness immediately comes to my mind. But you know what was another really good game that I think I put on the docket was Infinite on Discovery. Although that might have been multi-platform release. But Infinite on Discovery was pretty fucking baller. It's also one of the very few games in that generation that has multiple discs. Resident Evil 4 Remake, Yakuza Ishin, Persona 3 Reload, Soul Hackers 2, SMT5 Vengeance, Metaphor, Tales of Grace Remaster, System Shock Remaster, Star Ocean... Oh, have you played the System Shock Remake? How is it? Star Ocean Second Story R, Dragon Quest 3 Remake, Silent Hill 2 Remake, Guilty Char... Oh, you played Silent Hill 2... Have you played Silent Hill 2 Remake? I don't remember you posting about that one either. Guilty Gear Strive, Visions of Mana, Cyberpunk 2077, Valkyrie Elysium, MGS Collection, Tormenting Souls. Tormenting Souls or or Tormented Souls? The word remake pops up a lot. My brother turned me onto The Darkness. The Darkness is fucking fantastic. PlayStation's dominated hardware side between Xbox and PlayStation, but the Xbox will always have the better games. Well, okay, well, first off, the Xbox Series X is actually stronger than the PS5. That's a fucking weird take. That's a weird fucking take. Because the PS5 is known for having the better exclusives. He talked it up, and then I watched a Grimbeard video. The Darkness is my favorite first-person shooter of all time. Bucket de Gohan. I don't think either of them have better exclusives. I'm just saying PlayStation as like a brand is famous for having better exclusives. I don't think do either console have exclusives. No, if we're talking exclusives, I mean, PS5 has like nothing, right, at this point. But Xbox has got Starfield? No, that's not exclusive to Xbox. I don't think they have exclusive. You know who has the best exclusives is Nintendo. How about that? How about Nintendo is killing everyone? The animals at the Unohara Zoo love their jobs, and their jobs involve acting like animals when human beings are watching and getting on with very human lives. When they're not, paramount among them is Ginpei the penguin, who is internally getting into trouble with giraffes, lions, and pandas. Halo is still exclusive? Yeah, but when was the last fucking Halo? Or better question, when was the last Halo anyone gave a shit about? Halo is... Well, no, actually, Halo's not an exclusive because I can get it on Steam now. So that makes it... Yeah, so it's not an exclusive. I don't know if Xbox even has exclusives anymore. I think they, like, put everything into Game Pass, and I don't think there are Xbox exclusives anymore. Which is part of the reason why I think Xbox is going to move into the software side and just leave hardware. So PlayStation and Nintendo are going to run away with that shit soon. The thing with Silent Hill 2 Remake is I have it. I have the neat t-shirt that came with the game. I've yet to play it because I'm not in the mood for games with Silent Hill 2. That's a good point. That's fair. Keto Senshi Gundam Dai 08 MS Shotai Mobile Suit Gundam, the 8th MS team. In the year 0079 of Universal Century. Oh, interesting. This is that's the same year that the original Gundam takes place in. The Earth Federation initiates Operation Odessa, a full-scale assault to retake the major Ukrainian city from the Principality of Xi'an. It is a success, and the remaining Xi'an forces are scattered across the globe. The Earth Federation gains an upper hand in the one-year war and deploys its ground troops around the planet to hunt stragglers. As part of the deployments, Ensign Shiro Amada is transferred to the Southeast Asia to take command of the 08 MS team, a special squadron of RX-79 Gundam ground-type pilots. Now, see, I don't believe this. This is a major fucking retcon, because the big thing about White Base was that they owned every Gundam. Because mobile suits were exclusively owned by the Principality of Xi'an, and then it was Rei Amuro's dad who created the Gundam and the gun tank and gun cannon. And it was part of it was like literally part of White Base. So White Base had exclusive ownership over Gundam. And then Rei's dad went fucking bonkers due to like oxygen deprivation in like a shitty Earth Federation habitat or something, if I'm remembering correctly. No. It was oxygen deprivation, but it was during like an attack or something, so his brain fried itself. So like, I'm not saying Gundam couldn't have been produced, but I'm saying it doesn't align with the plot of the original original Mobile Suit Gundam for their 2B Gundam in operation during the 1 Year War. So I'm like, I don't mean to hate on you, 1996 Mobile Suit Gundam, the 08th MS team, but you've pulled these Gundam directly out of your asshole, because they should not exist. At least Piece 3 is an uplifting story masquerading as a depressing one. Is it? Is it though? Oh yeah. What? Sorry, I had to go on this rant about the Gundam. Obviously, those are the spares. The Earth Federation gains the upper hand in the 1 Year War and deploys its ground troops across the planet to hunt down stragglers. If they had multiple Gundams, they wouldn't have made children pilot them. The only reason that Rey was put in the fucking Gundam, the mere existence of this fucking show completely breaks the lore of the entire universe. The answer ends on a fairly happy note. That is a good point. As part of the deployments, Ensign Shiro Amada is transferred to the Southeast Asian to take command of the 08th MS team, a special squadron of RX-79 Gundam ground-type pilots. In their first guerrilla operation, Shiro's team is tasked with distracting the Zeon forces while Federation ground troops locate a mysterious new Zeon weapon. Everything goes according to plan until Shiro runs into Aina Salheim, an ace Zeon pilot he met in an earlier battle during a skirmish. Their reunion weakens his resolve to continue fighting, and now young Commander Shiro must prove his loyalty to the Federation or be branded a traitor. So there's another issue with that, which is, I don't care how cool Aina Sahaline is, if that motherfucker is rocking a Zaku and is going up against the Gundam wins every time. If you haven't seen the original Mobile Suit Gundam, which you should because it's actually a legitimately good series, the Gundam is the Gundam, by the way, is a specific mech, and the Gundam is so much more powerful than the enemy units. It is fucking crazy. The main reason that any enemy pilots were able to keep up with the sheer fucking power of the Gundam itself was because, and I'm not fucking with you, they were literally psychic. The most downer personing ending is probably Innocent Sin, which is ironic because Innocent Sin is like almost as wacky an anime as Persona 4. At one point, yeah, no, you know what? That's an accurate description. How the fuck does that ending just yanks a ringer? Yeah. Yeah, I don't get the idea of calling Innocent Sin dark. I've only watched Iron-Blooded Orphans. I've seen Iron-Blooded Orphans, and it's bad. It is the worst Gundam show I've ever fucking watched. I will never understand people who defend that piece of shit. I remember watching some random Macross series. I don't know why I'm remembering this now. Macross is also pretty fucking good, for the record. The original Macross is good. Not Robotech. Not the abomination that is Robotech. But Macross is pretty good. After the death of director Takeyuki Kaneda on July 27, 1996, the remaining 6 episodes were delayed. Nearly 1 year later, in 1997, Umanosuke Aida took over the project and completed the series on July 25th, 1999. Huh. I mean, as interesting as it is, this completely destroys the lore of Gundam. Oh my god, that is a fucking Zaku. Is that a Zaku that shot down a Gundam? Alright, to give you an idea of how in the original series you would never see this ever fucking happening, is like, I want you to imagine that the Gundam is like a fucking actual modern day, like, United States tank. And a Zaku is a fucking 22 millimeter pistol. Like, it would never fucking happen. Oh shit. See the spares. I think that P2 is too dark comes from people that played Eternal Punishment when it came out and people who read the synopsis on Mega 10 Wiki, because while Eternal Punishment lacks the oppressive atmosphere of 1 or more moody tune of 3, it does have this noir-esque vibe. Meanwhile, Innocent Sin has you fight a Chunibyo and a demon in a women's bathroom with the back credits. I was going to point out the toilet demon, and then I was like, but wait, was that Eternal Punishment? That one might have been Eternal Punishment. So I'm glad you confirmed to me, no, it was Innocent Sin. Innocent Sin is Innocent Sin is the most lighthearted Persona game. And the ending does not change that. I don't care, because it's also worth noting that the ending, it's like, oh no, the world ended, but it ends in 5 seconds, and then Philemon's like, but don't worry, we can set it back immediately. So any tension or drama cut by the end of the world is immediately undercut by the fact that the situation is immediately resolved at the end. So no, I will stand on Innocent Sin is the most lighthearted of all the Persona games. It is the most jovial of tones. Even Persona 4 takes itself seriously at certain points. Innocent Sin cannot hold down a serious tone for more than 5 minutes at a time. I'd argue Eternal Punishment is the most pointless Persona game. As far as... I would disagree with you and argue that the most pointless Persona game was... was the 3 and 5 dancing games. Living in the wreckage of rusty old airplane in the shimmering shores of South... Oh, I'm sorry, Sonic the Hedgehog / Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I apologize. I forgot to read the name of whatever the fuck I just... Yeah. Old airplane shimmering on the shores of South Island. Sonic the Hedgehog and his buddy Miles Tails I'm sorry, Tails' name is Miles? How did I never know this? Power, have not a care in the world. The president of the planet Freedom urgently summons the duo, but trouble is afoot when Sonic and Tails find the good-for-nothing Dr. Eggman lounging out his office as if it were his own. While Sonic would prefer to scramble Eggman and move on in his day, the Doctor claims not to have any new plans for world domination. He instead pleads for help. The generator powering Eggman's home city of Eggmanland has been hijacked and overloaded by a mysterious menace. If left unattended, it will explode, taking both Eggman and Sonic's homes with it. Reluctantly agreeing on the off chance Eggman is telling the truth, Sonic and Tails set out into the abyss, where an unknown, yet uncannily familiar enemy waits. Sonic the Hedgehog was released in English as Sonic the Hedgehog the movie on VHS and DVD by ADV Films on September 7th, 1999. The company later re-released the film on DVD January 13th, 2004, including both the Japanese and English dubs. How would you know they had 6 skills like that? If you're talking about the dancing games, they don't. According to the explanation, the Velvet Room attendants have a magic in the Velvet Room where essentially your body will move to whatever beat or rhythm you want it to as long as you can imagine the dance moves. And so they don't have sick dancing skills. They're just thinking really hard that they have sick dancing skills, and their bodies will just come up with the sick dancing skills for them. So... Also, it's a competition between Elizabeth and the twins to see who has the cooler, more stylish of the Velvet Room people. Could not be it could not be a more pointless game. People do forget the cast of P4 were very close to murdering a guy. The skills of the heart. So, Phantom Thieves and combat ability. The Phantom Thieves have combat ability. And the Phantom Thieves have combat ability. They train a bunch. Their weapons are real. For the record, that's sort of at the very least, as of in the original, the idea was that the replicas created impressions in I'm gonna call it the collective unconscious because my P5 terminology is failing me right now. But basically, the cognitions essentially created realistic weapons inside of people's minds. But as of strikers, they just have real weapons now. So you can't use the argument they don't have real weapons. They literally bought real weapons. They are in possession of real weapons. Let's see. Ranma 1/2 Super. Super OVA 1, based on a story from volume 27 of the manga. Shampoo in Ukiyo to arrange to travel to a cave that is legendarily for breaking up. Never Get the P1 cast stole their first set of guns. Oh, shit. Yeah, they just broke into a police station, didn't they? To arrange travel to a cave that is legendary for breaking up couples. They hope they will cause Ranma and Akane to break up, and Shampoo hopes to dish Mouse the same way. Super OVA 2 Jaku no Oni, the Wicked Demon, was released in 1995 based on a story from volume 29 of the manga. An Oni that wears a tiger-striped diaper, just like the Oni of Urusei Yatsura, escapes its sealed box and begins to possess people in the neighborhood. I will one day probably watch the Ranma remake because it's shorter. That's my reason. Super OVA 3, this is a story from volume 31. Ranma disturbs a doll that takes revenge on anyone that shows it disrespect. In order to teach Ranma a lesson, the doll possesses Akane and tries to, on many occasions, to attack him. Did they really break in if everyone inside was dead? Fun fact, I have experience with this exact scenario. Yes. There you go. There's the answer. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I bought Tactica. I bought Persona 5 Tactica a while back. I have not gotten around to playing it. It probably will be a while, because I'm playing another strategy tactics game right now, and I'm probably going to want to break between them. But I will be playing Tactica at some point. Maybe, I don't know if I'll play that one on stream. I probably should play that one on stream. Alright, speaking of Fire Emblem, the kingdoms of Dolar, Grust, and Gra band together to wage war on the rest of the continent of Archaea and defeat the kingdom of Altea. King Cornelius is slain in battle, but his son Prince Marth is able to escape the invasion thanks to the sacrifice of his older sister Elise. He is small, and a group of retainers find refuge on the island of Talis, where they spend the next 3 years hiding under the royal family's protection. Marth lives a peaceful life in Talis, enjoying the beauty on the island and the friendship of the Pegasus-riding princess Cadia. But he is uneasy, knowing soon the day will come that he must take up arms. That day arrives when Kada comes to Marth and his retainers in a panic, telling him that the castle town has been attacked. After some close calls, they manage to defeat the assailants and save the city. Realizing that his presence may bring further danger to his new home, Mark decides that now is the time to set off. He journeys to raise an army with which to reclaim his kingdom. Don't you mean Prince Mars? I have never heard him called that. This is called Fire Emblem Mystery of the Emblem. Interesting. I wonder if this is based off of the game Mystery of the Emblem, or whether this is based off of Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, which is the original Fire Emblem. Is it and the Blade of Light? It's Shadow Dragon and something. Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, right? Yep, Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light. Fun fact about Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, 5 out of 5. That's what they call them. Oh, God. Fun fact about Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light. There are a lot of Fire Emblem games at this point. And I have never heard anyone recommend Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light. Not a single Fire Emblem fan has ever been like, you know what, you've got to play Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light. I have never heard the game get recommended. It's like wild. Yeah, it's Fire Emblem is weird because, like, how many game franchises have like 300 entries? It's like 18, but whatever. Have like 300 entries, and like no one's ever like, you got to play the original game. Like, how many major game franchises have a bunch of entries, we'll say more than 10, where you see the fans actively tell you not to play the first game? Like, don't even bother with the first one. Like, Fire Emblem's weird in that regard. Like, I've never heard a Final Fantasy fan be like, hey, you know what you need to not play? Final Fantasy 1. It's always like, look, you got to do it eventually, right? Fire Emblem's like, don't even bother. Don't even attempt to play the first game. It's a nightmare. The first game is also interesting because it was remade. It's really weird, right? Because it was Fire Emblem was the first game, or Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light. And then the second game was called Fire Emblem Gaiden. And then the third game, and remember, there's like 18 of these fuckers. The third game was called Fire Emblem Mystery of the Emblem. And it was a remake of the original Fire Emblem. Like, they got 3 games in and they already remade the first game. But I would argue in a way that Mystery of the Emblem was almost like the fucking like SMT5 Vengeance or the Persona 5 Royal of Fire Emblem, because they also added like a whole new extra chapter called Mystery of the Emblem. Anyway, later on the Nintendo DS, they remade the first Fire Emblem again, but they did like a Persona 3 reload with it, where they created Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon, but they cut off all of the Mystery of the Emblem shit. They like chopped the new shit out and is like, remake the first game, but we cut off the sequel part. We removed the sequel chapter. And then they made that its own separate game called Fire Emblem New Mystery of the Emblem, which is also a remake. And that game is Japanese exclusive. Fun fact, there's your Fire Emblem history. Oh, and they later remade Fire Emblem Gaiden as Fire Emblem Echo Shadows of Valentia. Yes, which was... Is that a 3DS game? That's a 3DS game, yes. Anyway, moving on from Fire Emblem. I will literally just play the game. It's the thing. Whenever you get to this, I will just play the game. All right, what do we got? Oh, I've seen this. I'm aware of this. I'm aware of this one. This one is not taking me by surprise. This is Ozora Shoujotai, or 801 TTS Airbats. When aviation mechanic and anime fanboy Takuya Isurugi is transferred to the 801st Tactical Training Squadron, he gets more than he bargained for. Moderated by hard-headed veteran Ace Mitsuru Konishi, the Airbats are an all-female aerial acrobatics team consisting of loose cannons Miyuki Haneda, Arisa Mitaka, karaoke freaking gambling genius Sakura Saginomiya, and junk food lover Yoko Shimorenjaku. I fucked that up, but who cares? Both Haneda and Mitaka do not get along with each other, and the rivalry worsens when they both fall for Isurugi. But the entire JSDF having doubts about the team, the Airbats must work as a team or face total disbandment. Excuse me. I know for a long time women were not allowed to be fighter pilots, and I don't know when that changed, but I believe they are allowed to be fighter pilots now. Women fighter. I don't remember the specific reason. I think it was like people thought they were too frail for the G-force. Or it was like a blood circulation issue because women have worse blood circulation than men. It was like physiological reasons were cited. It wasn't like a total sexism thing. It's like the women will die if we put them in a fucking plane. And then over time it was discovered, actually, never mind, it doesn't really matter all that much. Which is also why women are now allowed in infantry, where they were banned from infantry before, because it was sort of more important when you were fighting with swords and shit, to take into account the physiological difference. But at this point, like, military battles are done at like fucking 700 yards, and it's just got about who's got the better eyesight and the aim, and that's a little less affected by physicality. So women fighter pilots. When were women fighter pilots allowed to fly? No, I want something here. I want Wikipedia. I trust Wikipedia over the random AI thing. I want a fighter pilot. Give me fighter pilots. Women fighter pilots. So, oh yeah, the Soviet Union had all female military squads, but the Soviet Union was weirdly progressive. North Korea had female fighter pilots. Okay, but what about a country people care about? What about the United States? 1993. Interesting. That's actually earlier than I would have thought. I would have thought this would have been... I would have thought this would have came way later. Well, that's fun. Fun fact. No idea with Japan. I don't think Japan publishes that information. Their military secrets were really hush-hush at the time. Fire Emblem experience with Fire Emblem.
Great. I read all of it. Then I rewatched my footage and reread all of it again. And you know what? I've got to admit, this shit puts me to sleep.
Okay, my experience with Fire Emblem is I have played... Fire Emblem's Binding Blade for the Game Boy Advance, Sacred Stones for the Game Boy Advance. I might have been Blazing... No, I'm pretty sure it's Binding Blade. Because I think Blazing Blade was the one that wasn't released in English. Sacred Stones for the Game Boy Advance. I played Path of Radiance for the GameCube. Obviously, I Three Houses. Did the Three Houses DLC. Did Fate's Birthright, Fate's Conquest, Fate's Revelation, did the DLCs for those, did Engage's DLC, and I might have done another Fire Emblem. Maybe we'll talk about that later. Oh, is it Blazing? Okay, I played Blazing Blade. I did not play Binding Blade. Dog, the names, it's impossible to tell them apart. All right, let's be real with ourselves. Whatever. Who fucking cares? Yeah, it was Blazing Blade then. Binding Blade was the one that didn't get the English release. Yeah, it was Binding Blade. Binding Blade didn't get the English release. Blazing Blade was the one I played. I played Blazing Blade, Sacred Stones. I was always a bigger Sacred Stones fan. Okay, my favorite Fire Emblem is still Three Houses, but my second favorite Fire Emblem, that's the question. And with that, I might lean towards Sacred Stone, but that could be nostalgia talking. I like Path of Radiance because it was easy. Yeah, Path of Radiance was really piss baby easy. Path of Radiance was like one of the easiest Fire Emblem games I've ever played. The actual easiest is Birthright, but fucking Path of Radiance is a better game than Birthright. For sure. Did you ever play Radiant Dawn, which was the sequel for the Re? For the Re? Whatever, you know what I meant. Kihei MD Geist 2 Death Force for the MD Geist Death Force. This is a sick ass poster. After unleashing Death Force machines all over the planet Jera, Geist has kept himself busy by dismantling them one by one. But now he faces a formidable opponent in the form of Krauser, another MDS most dangerous soldier, who's aligned himself as the only savior of mankind. What the fuck is Soheki MD Geist? What is this? I didn't add this for some reason. 7-year satellite crashes. Geist wakes up from sleep for another war. Okay. Alright. But this poster's sick as shit. Am I wrong? That's a sick-ass poster. Okay, you know Geist? I was saying, if anyone knows Geist, it's Maid. Maid, have you seen Geist? Is Geist good? The poster on this one's not... Okay, Geist is bad. Understood. But it's got such a cool poster. Is it worth it for the visuals? Because it's got some sick visuals. I might go back and add this for the visuals. It's a shitty anime that was weirdly popular in the US in the early 90s. It was popular in the US in the early 90s? That's all I need to fucking know. Add this shit. The image is really cool. What do we got here? We have, what are these? OVAs? These are OVAs. We have Seikimatsu Darling. Kosaku Ogata has been nursing feelings for his coworker Yoichiro Takasugi for so long that he can no longer sleep without dreaming of him. When he finally manages to confess, he's thrilled that Takasugi feels the same way, but despite their mutual attraction, Takasugi thinks that their relationship is doomed to fail due to an unfortunate incompatibility in the bedroom. Unwilling to give up, they end up challenging each other to a contest of romance in order to determine what form the relationship will take. US Megacorp used Geist as their logo. Huh. Moving on to... I've heard of this. I vaguely know what this is. Sorayuke, Ucho Senkin, Yamamoto Yoko, Starship Girl Yamamoto Yoko. Meet Yoko Yamamoto, a cat-eyed 15-year-old girl in the late 20th century with a love for video games and Pocky. Because of her exceptional talent with arcade shooters, she's been recruited by Lawson to travel 1,000 years into the future to pilot prototype ship TA-29, together with Ayano Elizabeth Haoken, Madoka Mito, and Momoji Kagaria. Yoko leads the Terran team against Rogue and Ness, infamous Red Snappers, in this epic space battle. Yeah, I've heard of this. I'll actually check this out. I don't know why I've heard of this, but I've heard of this, and I will be checking it out. So we're going to go ahead and add this. We have Boko no Marie, my dear Marie. Ever met the perfect girl? No. Did she have a perfect boyfriend? Feel like you can't compete? Why not build your own? When an amateur mad scientist attempts to build a robotic duplicate of his dream girl, Marie is the result. Of course, there are unusual, unexpected complications. He built her so well that Marie has a mind of her own and a host of questions to go along with it. The same questions that each of us ask of life. Where did I come from? Why am I here? Why do I look like that girl over there? Well, perhaps we don't have to worry about that, but Marie does. Wow, that sounds like a thing. Okay, moving. Is this a harem? It would have been hilarious if it was a harem. He just ends up with both girls. Okay, this is... Oh, I've heard of this. This is Yosei Hime-ren, Elf Princess Rane. Go has woved to... Go has woved to find the legendary treasure of Salamander. Searching for it, he meets Ren, a fairy who is looking for the 4 treasures of heart. Go's childhood friend Mari is frustrated with Go running after treasures, but befriends with another fairy, Rin. Go and Ren's treasure hunt messes with a secret project led by Mari's father. It turns out Salamander isn't what Go thought it was in the first place. I've heard of this. I know what this is vaguely. I don't know why I know what this is. I'm going to make a bold claim that Kenny Lauderdale made a video about it. I don't know if that's true, but it looks like something he would have done. It looks like something he might have done a video on. This doesn't sound watchable. The design of the girl is really cute, though. Like, that's a really cute design. I'm not going to watch it just for cute girl, though. This is fucking anime. I can find cute girl, like, on every fucking show. I have to walk down the next block. Alright? It's not hard. Alright. We've got Ninja Mono, Ninja Cadets. During feudal era, there was a war between 2 ninja clans, the Byakuro and the Kabusu. One night, the Kabusu staged a fierce attack on the Byakuro castle in hopes of kidnapping the clan's infant princess. Their mission was foiled when a lonely ninja of Byakuro flees and attacks the princess and disappears, eventually raising her to be a ninja. Several years later, 6 ninja trainees are given a mission to infiltrate the Kabusu-occupied Byakuro castle and retrieve a sacred scroll to complete their training. But their skills are put to the test when they encounter 3 members of the Kabusu who use dark sorcery and attempt to once again capture the princess, who happens to be one of the trainees. Yeah, that sounds like something. That certainly sounded like something. What do we got here? Tokumu Sentai Shinesmen, or Special Duty Combat Unit Shinesmen. Hiroya Matsumoto, hoping to become a great employee as his late father, has been hired at the Right Trading Company. Little does he know that he's been recruited for a very mysterious department within the company, the Special Duty Combat Unit known as Shinesmen. Their purpose to fight the terrible, oftentimes hilarious, alien force that threaten the Earth. Like most corporate employees, Matsumoto still has meetings to attend and deadlines to meet. But when Shinesmen wage war against the alien race from Planet Voice led by Prince Sasaki, Matsumoto and his co-workers don their office-colored Comat Pro suits and become Shinesman Red, Sepia. Just Sepia? Sorry, I was thrown off by Sepia. Shinesman, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Shinesman Red, Shinesman Sepia, Shinesman Salmon Pink, Shinesman Gray, Shinesman Moss Green. If my name was Shinesman Sepia, I would literally quit my fucking job. If you thought you'd seen all in Power Rangers, Kamen Rider, and even Dynaman, wait until you take a look at the zany but corporate world of Shinesmen. Tachibana Kaimu used surnames of his favorite voice actors for the characters of his manga, Tokumu Sentai Shinesmen. These voice actors ended up voicing the characters in the anime adaptation. Well, that they made that as a show. Power Dolls. In the far future of 2535 AD, after decades of oppressive policies instituted by the Terran government, the people of the colony world Omni joined together to declare their independence from the tyranny of planet Earth. This is literally Gundam. Lacking in established military or specialized weapons of warfare, the Omni Rebellion seemed doomed to failure. However, by adapting the robotic power loaders used for unloading spaceships into man-like battle tanks, the rebel forces instead introduced a whole new era of mechanized combat. This is literally Gundam. Now the future of the planet Omni rests upon a handful of young female pilots who serve the Special Department of Limited Line Service. They're codenamed the Power Dolls. Okay, this is literally Gundam, but from Zeon's perspective. They're just like, what if we take out all of the nuance of Gundam and we just make Zeon the good guys? Oh, fuck. Am I in? Yeah, I'm in. Fuck it. Yeah. What if the nuance of Gundam was removed? The fun thing about the original Mobile Suit Gundam, for those that don't know, is that, like, the Principality of Zeon wanting to secede from the Earth Federation makes sense because the Earth Federation is, like, literally the fucking worst. They are, like, literally the worst people. They draft literal children in their fucking war. It's like, they're like horrible. They're absolute nightmares. And the people living out in the colonies are like actually second-class citizens. It is like a full-on, like, Zeon's rebellion against the Earth Federation could not make more sense. They were genuinely horrible pieces of shit. But then the Principality of Zeon rolls up and is like, the only way we win this is if we fight dirty, like really, really scumbag dirty. And so they start fighting really scumbag dirty, and they fucking drop a colony, and they fucking start shooting nukes off. And so the fun fact about the original Gundam is like neither side is the good guy. They both are kind of terrible. And that's interesting. And so what Power Dolls is what if Zeon was just right? Is what it sounds like. This sounds like this was made by someone who's like, okay, but no, the Earth Federation kind of sucked, though. What do we got? We got Marriage Kekon. Marriage. I already added this, apparently. The OVA release of Marriage consists of two 30-minute pieces by Maki Kasumatsu on the topics of love and looking for that special someone. The first deals with a group of women who, after being out of school for a few years, are beginning to think about settling down. However, there's one member of the group who has no prospects, and Shizuka's friends are worried that her shyness will keep Mr. Right from noticing her beauty and character. They persuade her to join a dating service called the Wedding Club, but when her first match seems to be quite the dud, Shizuka wanders off a trip down the aisle just isn't in her future. The second episode is about about 5 sisters, only one whom isn't married. What's more, the cool Kiyomi seems to have no interest whatsoever in finding a husband. Scandalous. Her sisters have other ideas, though. When a coworker asks her out on a date, the women convince the suitor to propose marriage that very night. This is easier said than done, however, as Kiyomi's attitude can be quite intimidating. The young man may not end up following through with the plan, but even if he does, there's no guarantee that the headstrong lady in question will say yes. She probably shouldn't. She's known the man for 5 minutes. All right, what do we got here? Rocking up with Itsuka no Main? Could be Main. I'm going to say Main. I don't know. Kaminari Shonen Tenta Sanjo, based on the manga by Mizuho Shushi. The story shows a realistic portrayal of a Japanese biker gang member trying to live up to social expectations of him being a legend. Could be interesting. Gonna skip it. Let's move on to Teppen. Hanabishi is an extremely violent but chivalrous delinquent, gets into fights with Yakuza, other punks, and sometimes the police, gaining a feared reputation that attracts a couple admirers and antagonizes his gang-infested school's boss. This is going to sound crazy, think I have heard of this for some reason, but I will not be watching it. This is Zoku Zoku Mura no Obaketachi, a succession of tales taken from the 1.3 million selling children's books by Akiko Suiyoshi and Mako Taruishi, including Ram the Mummy, Obatan the Witch, The Childish Goblin, and Kitten Ghosts Goo, So, and P. Excuse me. I don't need to say this, but I've never heard of any of that. Alright, what do we got? We got Dragon Ball Movie 4. This is The Path to Power. This is a retelling of Dragon Ball's origin with a different take in the meaning of Goku Bulma and Kame Sennin. It also retells the Red Ribbon Army story, but this time they find Goku rather than Goku finding them. Well, that's kind of stupid then. That's kind of lame and stupid then. Alright, moving on to Doraemon Movie 17, Nobita to Ginga Express, I guess. The kids go on a mystery space train bound for a space theme park when a race of alien viruses strike, wanting to take them as host bodies. You know, as someone who tries to get into, like, classic anime throughout all of time, I should check out Doraemon at one point, but if I'm being real with you, I don't give a shit about Doraemon. Gokinjo Monogatari, the movie. I believe have heard of the original Gokinjo Monogatari series that came out in 1995. Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, an alternate retelling of the beginning of the original series, Mikoko and wow, not even fucking close. Tsutomu lived next door to each other since they were little. They both attended an art school where Mikoko is pursuing her dream of being a fashion designer. They formed a club called Akindo. I've lost the ability to read. With several of their friends, Akindo participates in flea markets where they all sell their creations, clothes, dolls, and artwork. Alright, what do we got? We got Doremi and Doraemon's Robot School 7 Mysteries. The graduation in Robot School, mysterious flow pulls in all of Doremi's friends and classmates, including Doraemon. Doraemon coming to the rescue, trying to solve this mystery and reveal one who stay behind all this. That was not English. Okay, moving on to Cho-chan Monogatari. This feature-length film is based on the autobiography of Cho-chan Kuroyanagi, who is better known as the mother of actress Tetsuko Kuroyanagi. Okay. The story starts at pre-World War II Japan. I did get pre-World War II Japan. When Cho-chan marries violinist, despite the objection of both their families. They live in poverty but have 3 children and are happy together. Any misfortune they face with a smile, but new obstacle for their happiness comes when the war breaks out and Cho-chan's husband must leave for the front. Yeah, that's what I got. That's what I was assuming. Alright. Armageddon. With, I think, an extra D. 4 billion years ago, in the Andromeda Nebula, pretty sure Andromeda's galaxy, an ambitious project was I gotta check to make sure Andromeda Nebula is a real place. Hold on. Is there an Andromeda Nebula and an Andromeda galaxy? I don't want to look like a doofus. No, it's just a galaxy. It's a galaxy. It's a fucking galaxy. There is no Andromeda Nebula. It's a fucking galaxy. Okay, thank you. Thank you. An ambitious project was launched. An ancient race of aliens, seeing that there are no other intelligent life in the universe, set their massive supercomputers to the task of seeding more races that could grow to sentience. The project was known as Omega Program. The human race was as a result of this program. Okay, alright, no, I'm following you. However, humans were not the only race to grow from the Omega Program, and lurking in the future is the deadliest threat to the human race has ever faced. In time, the products of this program are destined to clash into violent opposition. Hopelessly outnumbered by technologically superior enemy force, the Earth has one last hope, the secret failsafe of the Omega Program. The Delta Boy! The Delta Boy, living avatar of the supercomputer that began life on Earth. His only problem is staying alive long enough to save his future and all of humanity. This is Korean, I'm guessing? This appears to be Korean, because it's based on a manhwa. The Delta Boy. Oh, you had me until I found out it was Korean. If it was Japanese, I'd have watched the shit out of this, but apparently this is Korean, and I won't watch it because of that. Not because I have anything against Korea, but because I have something against non-Japanese animation. Oh yeah, that's Korean as shit. Yeah, you can tell by the letters that's Korean. Oh, Mega Boy! Delta Boy. Oh, shit. Alright, moving on. What do we got? We got Pipi Tobanai Hotaru, based on a fairy tale novel series by Akira Ozawa. Okay. Ultraman Company. Anime movie that was released in theaters as part of the Ultraman Wonderful World 1996 triple feature alongside Ultraman Zerth and Revive Ultraman. Fair enough. What do we got? We got City Hunter, the Secret Service. One day I'll get into City Hunter. One day I will get into City Hunter. And maybe I'll do a whole ass review of just City Hunter. And you'll be like, oh shit, Zach dropping a water wants to become the president of Guinam and free his people from the military rulers who have in power up until now. However, one thing stands in McGuire's way, his past, and is beginning to catch up with him, endangering not only his career but the life of his long-lost daughter. McGuire hires city hunter Ryo Saiba and his partner Kaori to protect his daughter Anna, who herself is a secret agent assigned to bodyguard the presidential hopeful. Zach, sensing me making a joke about him having a World War II-esque attitude towards Korea's fine. I like I like South Korea as a company. North Korea can suck my dick. I like South Korea as a country. South Korea's fine. It's just like I will not watch. I don't watch animation that's not Japanese unless I have made a recent exception, but it was because the show was dubbed in English. And so it was okay. I tried to watch a Chinese show once, a donghua, as they're called. I tried to watch a donghua once that was in Chinese, and what I learned very quickly is that when I see a sort of anime-styled show, and I see the characters' mouths move, and the words I hear are not Japanese, my brain folds inward on itself, and I literally can't focus on anything that's happening. Like, I literally cannot process the information anymore. And so I just don't. And so I have chosen not to. So I don't have anything against, like, Korean animation or Chinese animation or whatever. It just doesn't work for me. I just can't. But you watch English dubs is sort of different because I think what's happened is due to the exposure of it, English and like Japanese are the only acceptable languages for animation for me. Yeah, I mean, I think if I were to try to watch like Totally Spies or something in French or like Winx Club in Italian, I don't think I would be able to do it. I think my brain would fucking fold if I tried to watch those shows in their original languages also. So yeah, I would say if it's not English or Japanese, which I'm more programmed towards, I would probably have trouble. I might be able to make it through, but it's also like, it's not worth the effort, you know? Hey, what we got? We got Macross 7+. One day I'll get back to Macross. One day I will watch more Macross. Although I believe, no, a series of 2 to 3 minute shorts revealing the everyday lives of some characters, backstory of others, and the occasional music video. Fucking, what is wrong with me tonight? Originally included as extras in Macross 7 VHS and the Laserdisc. Whatever. Fucking. You know what I wanted to say. Alright, well, that was winter. We have finally made it to spring now. We have fucking Tenku no Escaflowne. The Visions of Escaflowne. Fucking absolute classic that I have not watched. Hitomi Kanzaki is just an ordinary 15-year-old schoolgirl with an interest in tarot cards and fortune-telling, but one night a boy named Van Fennel suddenly appears from the sky with a vicious dragon, thanks to a premonition from Hitomi. Van successfully kills the dragon, but a pillar of light appears and envelops both. As a result, Hitomi finds herself transported to the world of Gaia, a mysterious land where the earth hangs in the sky. In this new land, Hitomi soon discovers that Van is the prince of the kingdom of Fenalia, which soon falls under attack by the evil empire of Zybak. In an attempt to fight them off, Van boards his ancient Gaimalif Escaflowne, a mechanized battlesuit, but fails to defeat them, and Fenalia ends up destroyed. Now on the run, Hitomi and Van encounter a handsome Asturian knight named Alan Shizar, whom Hitomi is shocked to find looks exactly like her crush on Earth. With some new allies on their side, Van and Hitomi fight back against the forces of Zybak, as the Empire strives to revive an ancient power. Escaflowne was originally planned to be a 39-episode series, but after cuts to its budget and an extensive reworking of the plot, the show was reduced to a 26-episode run. Due to time constraints, certain footage in earlier episodes were cut down during broadcast and later restored on the Japanese home video releases referred to as the director's cut. The North American Bandai Entertainment releases use the TV masters, so the English dub does not sync properly with the Japanese home video masters on those specific episodes. Funimation later licensed the series in 2016, launched a successful Kickstart to redub the entirety of the director's cut edition. Thank fucking God on that one. The what I read previously was fucking wild. Oh, anyway, Escaflowne is a fucking classic. Would you believe I've never seen it? Anyway, yeah, that's why it's marked as because it's a classic. I've reviewed Stars, so we don't need to talk about Stars. Lucky me. Actually, I think the reheated review for Stars will be coming out pretty soon. Yeah, because we did Ami's First Love. Yeah, actually, fuck, when would this be? Friday? I think the reheated on this comes out Friday. So, check that out. Actually, by the time this VOD goes up on the channel, it will already have been out. So do with that what you will. Slayer's next in the Kingdom of... Oh, and obviously the original Water on 90 Sailor Moon is also already out. So you can watch that review no matter what. But I haven't seen it either, but I want to watch Fruits Basket first. Fruits Basket's good. It was... Fun fact, I often cite Toru Honda as my first waifu. But what I will say is... I never rewatched the original 26-episode run of Fruits Basket. I did watch the new remake of Fruits Basket. Girlfriend loves Fruits Basket. Fruits Basket's good. I don't like it as much as I used to. Anyway, in the Kingdom of Zona, Lena Inverse and Gori Gabrieve unexpectedly come across their old companions, Zelgadis Greywords and Princess Amelia Will Tesla Saloon. Upon their reunion, the friends ends up easily foiling the king of Zauna and his daughter's dastardly plans of world conquest. Soon after the revealed Zelgadis in search of the world's most valuable magical tome, the Clare Bible. hoping to discover a method to recover his human body among the many secret sheltered within it. Despite his protests, the rest of the group decides to join in the quest after hearing of his mission. However, just when they were wondering where to start looking for the legendary book, they stumble upon a mysterious priest by the name of Zelos, who claims that he may be of some help in their pursuit. I also liked both. I just don't like it as much as when I watched it originally. I've seen the old one. I'm going to watch the remake. The remake's pretty good. Can't hate on the remake. Can't hate on the remake at all. I think I marked Slayers down as something to watch already, though. Yeah, I did, so whatever. Moving on. Oh, this is a famous one. This is Kodama no Ocha. Yes, Kodocha. Sixth grader Sana. This is both hilariously famous as shit and also, fun fact, has an English dub, if you can believe that. Fun fact, Sana Karata in English is voiced by Laura Bailey, and that is why there are just clips of Laura Bailey rapping. Specifically because she voiced Sana. I believe it because I have it. Well, there you go then. Sixth grader Sana Karata has a perfect life. Her mother is a fairly successful author. She has a young man employed to keep her happy and safe, and best of all, she's the star of a children's television show, Kodomo no Omocha. There's just one thing bothering her, and that's Akito Hayama, Akito's classmate of Sana's, and ever since he started acting out in class, the rest of the boys have followed his example. Every day, the girls and teacher wage a battle to keep the class under control and get some actual learning done. That rotten Akito, Sana won't stand for this. The hyperactive Sana decides to dig deeper and find out what makes Akito tick, so the class goes back to normal, and the teacher can stop spending every day crying instead of teaching. But the more she learns about him, the more she realizes there might be more to Akito than meets the eye. This is a fucking legendary, dare I use the word legendary? This is a legendary shoujo series. If you are wondering why this is on why I already have this marked down, it is because this show is fucking legendary. We have Kido Shinseki Gundam X After War Gundam X. You have the Blu-ray, but I've never seen the entire thing. I got the Blu-ray recently and a handful of DVDs when I was a kid. I have only seen clips of it. Alright, let's find out if After War Gundam X also fucks up the entire plot of Gundam and has ruined the story. When one space colony declared its independence from the Earth Federation, the devastating 7th Space War, an all-out war between Earth and space, resulted. The Federation responded to the Space Revolutionary Army with mobile suits called Gundams. However, the Space Revolutionary Forces played their trump card and dropped hundreds of space colonies. Hundreds of space colonies? Hundreds? Plunging the planet into a 7-year-long nuclear winter. Yeah, fucking no shit. The Federation collapsed, but the Space Revolutionary Army was unable to invade the Earth in the aftermath of the colony. Well, maybe don't drop hundreds of colonies. What a same fucking idea. 15 years have passed. The year is now After War 0015, which means this is a different timeline than mainline Gundam and can't fuck up the timeline. And a new federation has sprung up on Earth to restore order. In peace, the colonial leaders have been rebuilding their own forces as well. Maybe stop fighting. By chance, 15-year-old Garrett Rand has discovered an old Federation mobile suit, the Gundam X, and now uses to help out the vulture ship Freedon in its struggle to keep powers that be from repeating the mistakes of the past. The mistakes of throwing hundreds of colonies at the fucking planet. Alright. For y'all who don't know what a fucking colony drop is, it's like a colony is like a really stupidly big space station that people live on. It's like a space habitat. They are like really big too. They are literally city-sized. Conservatively, they're like a circular city. So I guess if you unfold them, they're like two cities, basically. Imagine two cities colliding into Earth, and then apparently in this universe, some jackass was like, what if we fire hundreds of them? At the fucking planet. It's like, oh, it started a nuclear winter. Yeah, no shit. No, you're lucky anyone survived that. Why would you drop hundreds of... If your fucking goal was... Like, alright, I guess they tried to declare independence from Earth is the thought process, so I guess the idea is they don't care if they destroy Earth, but that is, like, literally apocalyptic. Like, you can't just... You can't drop hundreds of colonies on Earth. Alright, what do we got? Jikoku Sensei Nube, or Hell Teacher Nube. I've heard of this. I know what this is, vaguely. Nube is a clumsy, easygoing, very kind teacher, but he has a secret hiding under his glove on his left hand. He has a monster hand, and also has the ability to sense ghosts and evil spirits, so he protects his dear students from evil spirits with his monster hand, proving to be very powerful. Was this... Yeah, this was in Shonen Jump Weekly. Alright, if you're wondering why I know what this is, it is because Jigoku Sensei Nube appears in a little video game called Jumpstars Victory Versus Plus. And that is why I have heard of this. They're remaking this. Dog, if they can remake this, I can get a fucking legitimate Nejima adaptation. How about that? Maybe give me a real... Maybe... What I need is I need Ken Akamatsu to pull his strings now that he's a politician, and I need him to make me a real adaptation. Alright, what do we got? Kaiketsu Zoro. Diego Vega. Oh my god, they used his actual name. Oh yeah, the Magnificent Zoro. From his study trip to discover his homeland under the army's dictatorship, Diego, refusing to watch idly, disguises himself as Zoro to protect the weak and oppressed. Diego is not a coward, but he's unable to win the affections of his sweetheart Lolita, who is attracted to other more noble men. Diego serenades Lolita as Zoro and fights the evils of his homeland, hoping to capture her heart. I forgot that Zoro's love interest is named that. Fun fact, it's just like a Spanish nickname for Dolores. So, there you go. Yep. Dolores. The most interesting of all names. B. No, because it's an apostrophe. So it's a contraction. So, X. Alright, X. Teipei is going to visit his older brother Kotaro Takamiya during a scientific conference after training with a mysterious woman named Karen. For the past 11 years, however, his plans for a family reunion become stalled when a woman named Armis kills everyone in the conference to kidnap Kotaro. Teipei is on his way to save her brother and encounters a broken mechanical horse called X, who revives thanks to Taipei's blood and is now his aid to save his brother from the mysterious machine empire? The only person I know named Dolores is shockingly 20 years old. It might be that we've gotten to a point where it's starting to wrap back around. Am I insane in saying this sounds vaguely interesting? The story begins with Teipei Takami as he travels to China after years of quietly living in the fictional Kamui Island. He attempts to reunite with his brother Kotaro, who left Germany 5 years ago to study robotics at a university. Unfortunately, no sooner than his brother begins his exhibition about an advanced form machine, he's kidnapped by a mecha in the shape of a wasp and a servant in the machine empire. Teipei starts a chase using the gauntlet known as the Messiah Fist to hold on to the wasp as it travels to a secret base in the Gobi Desert, which serves as the empire's headquarters. Getting thrown into a garbage heap and facing a cyborg is somehow unfamiliar with. Taipei's blood awakens a relic from the past, a Kirin type known as X, which 5 years ago was considered the most powerful in existence. Both are equally stubborn, although quite different in many ways, and after initial squabbles, X resolves to help Teipei on his quest to save his brother. I did say I named my daughter Ingrid. Ingrid's a totally valid name. I'm okay with Ingrid. It was published in English by Tokyo Pop from January 1st, 2004 to November 30th, 2010. It was released in Brazilian Portuguese by Editora JBC from March 2005 to June 2006. Alright, you know what? I'm actually sold. You win, X. You do have a terrible name, though. Like a truly god-awful name. Alright, Cinderella Monogatari, the story of Cinderella. I love Cinderella. I love Cinderella. Alright, Cinderella is the daughter of a wealthy duke who is remarried to provide her with a mother and sisters. When the duke travels abroad, Cinderella discovers that her new family is anything but a family. With spoiled stepsisters and a harsh stepmother, Cinderella is forced to cook, clean, and manage the household, yet she remains cheerful, gentle, and kind to her family, to her animal friends, and a mysterious boy named Charles, who seems to have a connection with the Prince of Emerald Castle. Excuse me. Whole new story on a classic fairy tale. When Cinderella's cruel stepmother prevents her from attending the royal ball, she gets some... Oh my god. Excuse me. Unexpected help from lovable mice Gus and Jacques, and from her fairy godmother. If the shoe fits perfectly, why did it fall off in the first place? Because she was rushing. And so she pulled her foot entirely out of the slipper. Also, glass is just like really slippery. So, there you go. Because the thing is, the way the shoe, because glass slippers have absolutely no give. So it can't be 100% fitted perfectly to her feet. Otherwise, it would be impossible to remove the shoe safely. So you have to be able to slide in and out. And the simple fact of the matter is she just slid out. Mizui Hiro Jidai. Yuko is a shy middle school girl, has feelings for her childhood friend, the boy next door. When she finds out that her best friend also likes him, she's unsure what to do. The story explores the relationship between these two characters as they confront everyday junior high problems. Okay, that could be something. Seems like inefficient material for shoe. Oh, it's fucking terrible. I saw a video where they made glass slippers to see how practical it would be. And you know what the number one issue with the glass slippers are? Is the fact that glass has no traction at all, and walking in it is a fucking nightmare. Verse Night Lumune and 40 Fire. It's also really hard to make glass. And also, if your glass shoe, like if you break a heel in a normal set of high heels, like worst case scenario, you sprain an ankle, right? If you break a heel in glass slippers, the worst case scenario is you shred your fucking feet. So, yeah, glass is a terrible shoe material, and the only reason it was made out of glass was because she was magic. This is why I wear leather boots. Hey, leather is a valid shoe material. Ain't no one hating on leather. Baba Lamude is followed home by two strange peddler girls who give him a CD-ROM game. This is outdated. After he beats Legend of Lamunis, the girls come out of his computer and bring him to Doki Doki's phase. He is the third descendant of the hero of Lamunis who must stop Don Genosai from resurrecting the great evil Abram, accompanied by PQ, his advisor robot, and Parfait and Cao. He must pilot the Kaiser Fire Mecha. However, he needs another pilot. The Decider is chosen as the second pilot. This reminds me of... Are they just beverage puns? Yes. Yeah, they're all beverage puns. Okay. What was I going to say? This reminds me of another thing I watched. Where the guy beats a video game, and then it turns out that the video game was like a training for something else. I don't know if that review ever went up. I think I might have. I currently have like 12 anime reviews sitting on my hard drive in case I run out of time and I need to just quickly drop them. And they've been there, I think, for like a year now. So I don't think I ever released that review. But I have it prepped if I ever need to release that review. Which is also why I don't fucking remember what the fuck it was. Anyway, Midori no Makibao, green Makibao. Midori Makibao is a small white racehorse. Compared to other thoroughbred horses, he looks more like a donkey with wide noses. However, with his gut and speed as his weapon, Makibao wins every big race. In the beginning of his career, Makibao had trouble making a debut as a racehorse because of his appearance and various disadvantages he had. But Makibao had reasons to overcome his difficulties. There, he was a lifelong rival horse called Super Horse Cascade. Cascade that Makibao needed to defeat. Plus, he was determined to win back his mother, a horse that had been taken away to pay back the debt on the farm. There are many hardships that Makibao has to overcome, but he thrives in the series of races to become a great racehorse. The character designs of this are fucking hideous, is what I will say about that. And the only horse anime I need is Ume Masume. So, alright, we got Hajime Ningen-gon. This is a remake of Hajime Ningen Gyatoru's. Nailed it. Each episode contains 3 stories. Which came out in 1974. Wow, I read that forever ago. This is, of course, Shonen Santa no Daiboken, based on L. Frank Baum's novel, The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus. Yo! My boy, L. Frank Baum. My fucking boy. Yes. All right. You know what other famous novel series? You know what famous novel series was created by L. Frank Baum? That is correct. It's Wizard of Oz, baby. Y'all know I'm a real Oz head. We call ourselves Oz heads, by the way. We all know I'm a real Oz head out here. So always good to see an L. Frank Baum novel get an adaptation. I'm going to look like a jackass if a single word of that was wrong, but I am pretty sure it was not. Thank God. Sack the original Oz head. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Okay, no, but for real though, the Wizard of Oz novels are super underrated. I won't talk about it too long, but like, alright, here's the best difference between... I've already talked about my love of General Ginger. Ginger's amazing. I love Ginger. But I want to pitch to you Book Dorothy, because Book Dorothy is a fucking menace. Book Dorothy is a fucking menace. Alright? Like, Book Dorothy, when she encounters the Cowardly Lion, it's like, I don't think it's like the same as the movie. I think in the movie he just tries to scare them. In the novel, he like tries to fucking eat them. And what you need to understand is, first off, Book Dorothy is like younger than Judy Garland. She's like really young. She's like 8 or some shit. Like, she's like a small child. And her reaction to the Cowardly Lion charging at her is she punched him in the fucking face. She just straight decks his ass. And then at one point, when they need to take a rest, this is after the Cowardly Lion joins the party. When they need to take a rest, Dorothy just walks the fuck up to someone's house, pounds on the door, and then the person opens up the door. She's like, "Hi, I'm Dorothy. I would like to stay the night at your house." And the person's like, "What the fuck? Why would I let that happen?" And then they see the Cowardly Lion, and they're like, "Oh my god, who is that?" And then Dorothy looks at the Cowardly Lion, and she's like, "Oh, that's my friend Lion. Don't worry, he'll only attack you if I say to. He only attacks if I say to. So can I stay the night?" And the person's like, "Yeah, okay, you can stay the night, little girl." And then, this is the same book, by the way. I want to be clear about this. Dorothy gets really pissed off. She's enslaved, briefly, by the Wicked Witch of the... West? West, I think. It's the same one as in the movies. I just get my West and East witches mixed up. I think the East one is the one that dies immediately. Anyway, they're enslaved by the Wicked Witch of the West. And Dorothy gets pissed and just splashes her with water. And then the Wicked Witch just starts melting. Just like in the movie. And the witch is like, the Oscillers fans. No, L. Frank Baum wrote 14 novels. Like, there are 14 novels. It is actually, you're not fucking around with it, though. But yeah, she splashes him with splashes her with water, and the witch is like, I'm melting, I'm dying. And Dorothy's like, "Wait a minute, water kills you?" And the witch is like, "Yes." And Dorothy's like, "Huh, Okay, and then Dorothy, I'm not fucking with you, all right? This is how hard Dorothy goes in the novels. She takes the water bucket she just spilled on the witch, she walks away, fills it up with a second bucket of water, comes back, and then splashes it on the witch again to deliberately murder her. And then, after the water dissolves the witch into a puddle, what does Dorothy do with the literal molten corpse of the Wicked Witch of the West? She grabs a broom and then sweeps it out the front fucking door. Just literally like garbage onto the fucking pavement. Well, it's dirt, but whatever, you get the idea. Just literally spreads it out. I remember the Oz novels are super dark. They're actually not super dark. The only thing that makes the Oz novels dark is fucking Dorothy is a psychopath. Dorothy is a legitimate psycho. Oh shit. And then, oh shit, what is this? This is the third Oz book, I think it is. Dorothy is on a boat to Australia, and a hurricane hits, and then the main character being a serial killer never fails. And then she gets swept away into a chicken, and she ends up in a chicken cage in the middle of an ocean, like in the middle of the Pacific Ocean during a hurricane. And then she looks around, and she's with a chicken named Belinda, and she looks around at the hurricane as she's stranded in the middle of this pitch black ocean, and her immediate thought is, wow, this is fucking boring. I'm fucking bored. And she just lies down and goes to sleep. And then in Oz book number 4, what happens is at one point there's an earthquake, and she's there with her cousin, and the earth splits open, and them and their like carriage starts falling into the center of the earth, and her cousin is freaking the fuck out, understandably, and the horse is freaking the fuck out, and Dorothy is just like calmly falling. She is just utterly nonplussed by falling an infinite distance to the center of the planet. And then when her cousin confronts her about it, he's like, what the fuck, Dorothy? Are you never afraid? And Dorothy's like, oh no, I can be afraid, but only when something's actually scary. And it's like, Dorothy, what the fuck? Dorothy, what the fuck? And I think in the same novel, Dorothy has a kitten with her. And the kitten was going to try and eat the mice. And Dorothy tells the kitten, hey, if you try to fuck with those mice again, I'm going to use my magic and I'm going to teleport you into a volcano. Just straight up into the lava of a volcano is what I'm going to do. Dorothy is a fucking psycho. And it's the best. She has no emotions. Her only emotion is murder. I love her. She's fantastic. And you might be wondering if it's an issue with the author's writing, and I assure you, she's the only character that acts like that. She's the only one that is that fucking insane. Oh, I fucking love Dorothy. Although I will say there was a badass moment in one of the novels where the Wizard of Oz confronts a sorcerer, and the wizard claims that being a wizard is like twice as good as being a sorcerer, and then the sorcerer is like, oh yeah, can you do this? And he conjures fire in his hand, and the wizard is like, no, but I can do this, and he claps his hands together and then pulls out a sword and then slices the guy in half. Oh, so what I'm telling you is that the Wizard of Oz books go fucking hard. They go weirdly hard. Anyway, Ijiwaru Basan, 1996. Grandma's a nasty, manipulative thing most of the time, causing endless trouble for son-in-law and daughter, her children, and her neighbors. Average American farm. Oh, I fucking love Dorothy. I love Dorothy. Dorothy's great. Golden Boy. Kintaro Oe is a specialist in part-time work writing all over the highways and byways of Japan and his trusty seed, the Mikazuki 5. And finding employment whenever he can, his adventures bring him knowledge and experience that can't be taught in a classroom, from political corruption to the delicacy of a young woman's heart with nothing but rope and road before him, not to mention the many beautiful women along the way. Kintaro pursues his spirit of education while attempting to hold down various jobs, however undignified they may be, as he learns from each task he takes on. Who knows what could happen? He might even be able to save the world one day. One thing's for sure, this will all be very educational. Golden Boy is an absolute anime classic. I hear the manga gets real fucking weird, though. Anyway, yes. I wish at one point, who's the one with that actually has it? MGM. I wish MGM's license would fucking expire on Wizard of Oz so we can get real Oz films. Wizard of Oz is a fucking good series. So underrated series. Wizard of Oz. Gunsmith Cats. In the dangerous suburbs of Chicago, skilled bounty hunters Irene Raleigh Vincent and Meanie Mae Hopkins run Gunsmith Cats. Firearms story of questionable legality. One day, Bill Collins, an agent for Chicago branch of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, black malls Raleigh and May into working with him on a case. The stakes are high, but Raleigh's Gunsmith and May's knowledge of explosives are unmatched. As Raleigh and May unravel the secrets of the case, the two will need to use guns and grenades while being faster, stronger, and better than everyone else in order to stay alive. This is a pseudo classic, but also it just sounds fucking good. Oh, 3x3 Eyes, Seima Densetsu. Legend of the Divine Demon. Yakumo is trained for 4 years following Pai's mysterious disappearance. However, when he finally finds her, not all is well with her. Memory seems to be gone. They attempt to return her memory by going to Holy Land, birthplace of the immortal race of the Sanjians. I'm assuming I have 3x3 Eyes marked down. Yeah. I would be shocked if I hadn't. Shamanic Princess. I feel like I've seen some of this. Tiara, skilled sorceress, and her familiar Japolo have been sent to Earth from Guardian World, a realm of powerful beings responsible for maintaining balance of magical energy. Their mission to retrieve the Throne of Yord, a magical artifact that's the source of Guardian World's power and has been returned before it falls into the wrong hands. While tracking the artifact, Tiara encounters her old friend Lena, another sorceress seeking the Throne of Yord. Tiara's situation and further complicated by the appearance of Kagetsu, a man she once held strong feelings for. Kagetsu, a negator, a person with the ability to neutralize magic, and holds off a close link of the Throne of Yord. Torn between loyalty to her mission and her friends, Tiara embarks on a difficult journey filled with unforeseen challenges. That sounds terrible, but I haven't marked it down, so I'm going to keep going with it. One other thing I was going to mention about the Wizard of Oz is for whatever reason the land of Oz doesn't have much of an army. It had, under the Wizard, it had it had a few soldiers, I think, under the Wizard, but then when Scarecrow takes over as the leader of the Land of Oz, it only had like one soldier in like the entire kingdom, which made it real easy when General Ginger, it made it real easy for Ginger to just fucking rip the place apart, which is why Ginger was able to conquer the vast majority of Oz. But fun fact, for whatever fucking reason, she wasn't able to conquer, I want to say, the south of Oz, I think. I think Ginger failed to conquer the south of Oz. Double check on this. Glinda owns the south. She wasn't able to conquer Glinda's territory because for whatever reason, Glinda has a standing army. Like, Glinda has an entire army of women soldiers trained to use spears and shit. And so Ginger failed to conquer the South because her army was actually unwilling to take on Glinda's army. And they never address this, but it's fucking weird for Glinda to just have an army. No one else has an army. It's just Glinda. It makes no, like, and you might think maybe Glinda was planning to take over the Kingdom of Oz, but as I stated, like, Oz has never had a very large supply of soldiers. So if Glinda wanted to take Oz, she fucking could. And in fact, Glinda was the one that instills Ozma as the leader of Oz. So like, so taking over Oz is always on the table for her. And it's so weird that's like, why does she have an army? And they never explain it. And so I've always suspected that Glinda's up to some shit. I suspect she's not the good witch she pretends to be. So, and they say that evil witches can use the power of lies to disguise people. So, like, maybe Glinda's actually an evil witch, and she's disguising herself as a good witch. Maybe? Anyway, that's my Oz theory. My Oz theory is that Glinda's fucking evil. Because why does she have an army? And by the way, if you're wondering, and under Ozma, Oz had, 12 soldiers? Yeah, so Ozma literally multiplied the size of the Oz army by about 12 people. 12 times over. But anyway, if you're wondering why Oz does not have a standing army, it's because it does not need a standing army, because the land of Oz is surrounded on all sides by water, like a lot of water. And if you're like, oh, that's okay, you can still invade from the water, hold up, because after the water, like before, like it's water, and then touching the water is desert. So the land of Oz is surrounded by desert, followed by water. But hold on, because the desert the land of Oz is surrounded by is known as the Deadly Desert. And I am not fucking with you. This is the official Wizard of Oz lore. If you touch the Deadly Desert, if the sand of the deadly desert hits you, you just instantly die. So Oz doesn't have a standing army because you would be a fucking moron to try and invade it. You would lose so many people. The desert is literally filled with corpses from people who have tried to get in or out of Oz. It is quite literally impossible. So, yeah, anyway, yes. So why the fuck does Glinda have an army? Because I feel like the word deadly doesn't do it justice. It really is a little bit of an understatement, isn't it? Yeah, fuck. Although I've returned what I've admit, I started talking about Wizard of Oz. I just got really into Wizard of Oz. Burn Up W, on the case and in your face. When crime and terrorism go out to control Tokyo, the police unleash Team Warrior, a band of highly skilled and completely reckless band of female cops featuring Loose Cannon Rio, Trigger Happy Maya, and ace hacker Lilica. Team Warrior get the job done regardless of the budget of their mission. I do believe Oz is actually later invaded by the gnomes in one of the books that I never read because I don't physically own it. But the gnomes invade from underground, so they bypass the desert. What made you skip out on Reload? I ended up playing another game, which I want to save it. I want to save it because I'm going to talk about it on the podcast. Or the talk show. I'm going to talk about it on the talk show. Probably this month. It's actually turning out to be longer than I expected. But I decided to play an old game. I decided to play a really old game. It came out in 1996? 1996, I believe. Let's see, Mahotsukai Tai. Let's see, we talked about that already as part of Anime Dartboard. That was a dartboard anime. Shin Kaido Senki Gundam Wing Operation Meteor. Mobile Suit Gundam Wing Operation Meteor. 2 video releases recapping events from Gundam Wing TV series. Each Operation Meteor video contains an odd episode and an even episode. The odd episode features Hiro, Trowa, and Woofy, while even episodes feature Duo and Quatre. Excuse me. The episodes also featured brief new footages of characters after the final episode series. Even though I have decided to play an older game, I'll still probably play Metaphor before Reload, just because I've already played, like, P3. So I feel a little less drawn to it than more newer entries. Sanctuary. One day, high school friends Akira, Hojo, and Chiaki Asami flip a coin and make a vow that completely changes their fates. For his part, Akira immediately drops out of school to join the Yakuza, while Chiaki toughs it out in order to become a politician's aide. Although they seem to have made polar opposite choices, the friends feel as though the two sides of the same coin. They do whatever it takes to reform Japanese society as they see fit. This could be kind of interesting. Hold on. I'll check that out. Yeah, fuck it. I'm in. Yeah, my main draw to Metaphor is that everyone, like, I'm still vaguely uninterested in it, but everyone talks about how good it is, so I'm like, okay, maybe I'll give it a shot. Plus, I got it as a Christmas present, so I feel kind of obligated to play it. Takiya's boss fight before Nyx is completely rewritten. Toshinden, Battle Arena, Toshinden. For 1 year, Master Swordsman Eiji Shinjo has been haunted by the memory of his battle with the renegade champion Gaia, a battle that was cut short by the forces of the malevolent syndicate known as the Organization. Denied victory, Eiji left the tournament, followed by his opponents mocking laughter. Worse still, Eiji walked away no closer to finding his long-lost brother Sho, but now a mysterious warrior is hunting down the champions in the previous tournament and using their own moves against them, and it looks like that person may just be Sho. Who is this mysterious, powerful new foe, and who is his next target? Eiji and Kaien, his closest friend and greatest rival, struggle to unravel the mystery before they too join the ranks of the defeated. The answer lies at the heart of the Organization and its plan for world domination. At last, the ultimate battle between the greatest fighters in the world will be decided, but if Eiji loses, his friends Ellis may die. Alright, that sounds cool enough. Fuck it, I'll watch it. Alright, we got Tatoon Master. When Hibio's adventure mother sets off to research a mysterious tribe, she hits a wall. Fortunately for her, the beautiful young Nima sees a family portrait and decides that she wants her son for her husband, and she gets a chance to further her research. She agrees to the arrangement. Of course, she doesn't consult him about his future bride. When Nima shows up in Tokyo to be with her new husband, hilarity and chaos ensues as Hibio and his modern Tokyo background meets Nima's magical heritage. I'm sorry, what is the plot of this? I can't follow what this is about. It's not incest marriage, is it? High school student whose mother ran off a while ago. Turns out his mother ended up with the mysterious Tatoon tribe, whom she gave a choice: die or betroth her son to a member of the tribe. She chose the latter and stays to study the tribe. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm more interested now that it's not incest marriage, or I'm less interested, but I'm still interested regardless. Alright, what do we got here? We have Ojo-sama Sosamo. Debutante Detective Corps. Debutante Detective Corps began with introductions to the 5 main characters, Miyuki, Reiko, Yoko, Nina, and Himiko. It seems these 5 girls are incredibly rich and have been sent to a threatening videotape by forces unknown. A police guard is set up at the school where the 5 girls have enrolled. Kimiko, however, doesn't like the idea of being cooped up at school. And convinces the rest of the girls to trick the police into leaving. No sooner are the police gone, however, when the girls are assaulted by 3 armed terrorists. What ensues is a rather silly escapade, with our heroes attempting to thwart their attackers. If you're watching anime without incest marriage, are you actually watching an anime? What a solid question. The only problem is I can't name that many anime with incest marriages. So, this is essentially Home Alone but with rich girls. Yeah, alright, I'll check that out. Fuck it. Oh, ew. Mutant Turtles Chojin Densetsuhen. They all blend together in one big incest marriage. When the Mutant Ninja Turtle acquire Mutastones from Kriasmu, the Spirit of Light, they acquire the ability to enhance themselves into Super Turtles for a duration of 3 minutes. Meanwhile, the evil Shredder and his minions, Bebop and Rocksteady, stumble upon the Dark Mutastone, which transforms them into Devil Shredders, Super Mutant Bebop, and Super Mutant Rocksteady, respectively. But the Turtles have one more trick up their shells. All 4 of them can combine until their ultimate form... Turtle Saint. I'ma be real. I struggled to say the last part was so fucking stupid. I struggled to get the word out. I've seen this because I was so baffled that it exists. I already don't like the Ninja Turtles, and this is just painful. Absolute agony. Oh my, that might be the worst thing we've read on this show. Alright, what do we got? Landlocked. The land of Zurler. Nailed it. Is in turmoil, ravaged by the technological might of Chairman Sanuku and his evil militaristic Zul Earth forces in a rapidly unfolding story of treachery, deceit, and betrayal. Only one boy holds the power to defeat such overwhelming odds, a boy named Looter, who possesses a mysterious red eye and the ability to control the power of the wind itself. With the fate and the world at stake, Looter must learn to unlock his legendary power and battle against the evil which threatens to engulf the planet. I just mostly want to know what the fuck is Sanctuary and why I've never heard of them. What have you made, Sanctuary? What did you make? You made Byostenwell Monogatari, which I will be reading the plot of later today, I'm sure. You raid... New Dominion Tank Police, that I have heard of. You made Shin Megami Tensei Tokyo Revelation, which I've seen and wasn't good, apparently. You made 8-Man After, which, looking at the poster, could actually be good. But I decided not to watch it, and I will trust myself. You made Gundress, which we'll read about in 1999, but I've never heard this before. This looks like a Bubblegum Crisis ripoff. And you made Landlocked. Wow. So I haven't heard of you because you've made a bunch of shitty OVAs in the 90s, basically. Okay, what do we got? Blue Seed 1.5. I've heard of this. This is a retelling of the first series. One episode is seen through the view of Momiji, the other seen through the viewpoint of Kusanagi. Never mind, I've heard of Blue Seed. I don't think I've heard of Blue Seed 1.5. This is Idol Fight Shuichi Pai 2, which I've apparently not only heard of, but decided I need to watch Idol Fight Shuichi Pai. Once every century, the legendary Mahjong dials called the legendary Pi show themselves to the world. If you collect them all, it will grant you any wish. They will show up in the form of evil monsters, and you must defeat all 10 of them to obtain this chance. So a bunny alien, a maid dominatrix, a cyborg, a girl from a world of magic, and a transforming superhero must all fight these monsters along with themselves to grant the wish they want to come true. Wow, I fucking wonder why I was like, this seems like something I should be watching. Alright, we have Bounty Hunter, The Hard. This is the story of a Hard, a bounty hunter living in New York City seeking revenge. I don't look. I'm not a great artist. Your Twitch just died. Well, that's a plot. Welcome back, Kaido. I'm not an artist, so I want to be very clear that whoever drew this is a better artist than me. But for a brief second, can we please address the fact that the gun is hyper-realistic? The person is apparently pretty damn good at drawing hands, but the face on this person... Also, look at the fucking wrinkles. Like, look at the detail. Like, hyper-realistic jacket, hyper-realistic gun, hyper-realistic hand, but the face on this dude looks boyish, but also weirdly hyper-masculine. This is the weirdest character design I have seen in a good amount of time. Like... What the fuck? Like, practice your faces, my dude, is what I'll say about it. Did the manga look like that? Okay, no, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, isn't this, like, the weirdest, like, boyish / hyper-masculine face you've ever seen? It looks like a young boy took a metric ass ton of steroids. Who was this? This was Tetsuya Saruwatari. Exactly what 90s Japanese dude bros were into. He made Ricky O. He made Ricky O. That's probably what he's famous for. He made Ricky O. Now we know. The most hyper-masculine bullshit in the world, but it has to look boyish enough so they could still relate. Okay, I mean, Ricky-O has a little bit of that issue, but he looks vaguely like an adult man compared to the other character. Compared to the Hard. Compared to Hard, Ricky-O looks vaguely like an adult human. And that's just a grown-ass man. So clearly by 2023... Is this about wrestling? Because those look like cut marks from a razor. And it's called Lockup. Yep, wrestling career. Yeah, okay, it actually is about professional wrestling. You don't see wrestling acknowledge the forehead cuts very often. That's actually kind of interesting. Shout out to the Ricky O creator on that. I'm sorry, I've been distracted. This is an interest act called Wrestling in Manga, and then the fucking immediate shot of that is something called Kakuto Baijin Wulong, and I just need to know the context for this. I'm sorry, give me a second. Fighting Beauty Wulong. The lead character Mao Ran, a person of Chinese origin born and raised in Japan, has been trained in secret martial art of family. Drunken, lecherous grandfather has promised that he'll tell her what happened to her parents to encourage her to train. Without her knowledge, her grandfather signs her up to participate in a televised martial arts competition between female martial artists known as Primat. This sounds kind of interesting. Hold on, there's been 2 adaptions of this? What's the... Oh. I was already aware this existed, apparently. You know, when we get to the end of SACing Mal Eternal, like the true end, when we catch up in like when we get to like 2017 or some shit, I will be able to be like, if I'm ever asked, have you ever heard of this anime? I'll be like, yes, I have. Like, every single time. I'll be able to be like, yes, I have in fact heard of this. Ricky-O is funny because you watch the live-action movie and you're like, that shit was insane. What's the manga like? And then the manga is somehow even more fucking batshit insane. How Taikai Reunite Adu Legend Final. Lords of Legends Reunite Adu's Legend Final. Yeah, that sounds like nothing. That sounds like absolute nothing. This is Future GPX Cyber Formula Early Days Renewal. Future GPX Cyber Formula Early Days Renewal is the following Future GPX Cyber Race Formula 0. Is this related to IGPX? No, it isn't. Maybe it should be. Alright, what do we got? We've got Tapuku Kyoso Gyoku. This is based on a shonen manga by Yu Furusawa. Would it shock you to hear that I don't think I've ever heard of this? When we get to the 2000s, I'll have better input than incest marriage. Oh, shit. I mean, what do we got? This is 1996, so 97, 98, 99. I need to beat 3 more video games. When is that? That would be... That's after Raidu Kuzunoha. We'll be in the 2000s after Raidu Kuzunoha. Humuku Mairu. This is a shinobi sets out to rescue kidnapped rare animals. Okay, well that sounds like something. Tenshi Muyo in Love. I'm gonna skip reading that. Actually. Because it will be getting a review relatively soon, so... Armitage 3 Polymatrix. How long has this fucking stream been going? 2 hours? No wonder my voice is going hoarse. Alright, y'all. Going forward, I'm almost thinking 1996 needs to be 2 streams. Armitage Polymatrix. In the year 2046, humans are moving away from using robots and begin to trust them less and less. In this time, life becomes very perilous for the beings known as seconds. The seconds are the most recent line of robots, as far as the public knows. This is the world Detective Ross, Sibyllus lives in, and Detective Syllabus is transferred to Mars by his request, after his partner is killed by a robot. After he arrives, he falls headfirst into a murder where a country singer on his flight was murdered. He steps off the plane, watches the scene unfold, and meets his partner Armitage, a female cop with a major attitude. A rash of murders begins, and yet more women are killed as an investigation is continued. A secret is uncovered. There is another line of robots known as thirds. More and more thirds are turning up missing as a serial killer who is intent on wiping out all thirds run rampant. Armitage, in her quest to put murderer to justice, reveals a secret. She herself is a third. This sounds like a plot, like the plot of like 3 different Cyberpunk series smashed together. I think I've heard of this for some reason. Probably heard of Armitage 3. I've heard of Armitage 3, which came out in 1995. There we go. I was going to make a comment about split ends, and I realized that Zach probably wouldn't have much input on that. You are correct. I do not have much input on split ends because before I was shaving my hair was a fucking immaculate. Lupin the Third, Dead or Alive. And head to the mysterious drifting island looking for a treasure rumored to be hidden somewhere on it. Through their exploration of the island, the trio encounters the lethal nanomachine, the island's security system. The trio triggers an alarm bringing the nanomachine to life. The key to solving the island's mystery lies at a small nation of Zufu. This once prosperous nation is now ruled by the ruthless, knife-collecting General Headhunter. Fujiko does her usual probing and hacks into General Headhunter's computer, hoping to find some crucial information. Zenigata has received a video message from Lupin in which Lupin announces his desire for the priceless treasure. Oleander, a fiery blonde officer with some hidden secrets of her own, steps in to help Zenigata. Armed with their newly found information, Lupin, Goemon, Jigen, and Fujiko go back to Drifting Island, but this time they are allowed by General Headhunter. Fucking do a trim. Do a cheeky little trim. Nothing wrong with a little cheeky trim. Let's see, I just want to see which one this was. Largest theme park around Tokyo. Talking doll against 2 gay witch. Oh yeah, this was during the era of Shinshan where who was it? Was it Mitsuru Hongo? Early Shinshan movies, like the first 5 or 6 of them, the joke was like in like the first 5 or 6 Shinshan movies, the villain was always like a gay man for some reason. And it was like the first several Shinchan movies were all weirdly homophobic. Like it was yeah, I think it was a problem in 1, 2, 3. It was definitely a problem in 4. It was definitely a problem in... Well, no, there was a gay man who was a stereotype in 5, I believe. But he wasn't like a villain. They started to taper off with that. And then 6, I think, is when it started to go away. Yeah, right around movie 6. Yeah, it was like the first 5 Shin-Chan movies was like weirdly homophobic for some reason. It stopped being a problem as it went onward, but... Yeah, I actually chopped all my hair off because brushing your hair is a fucking pain in the ass. Hamlin, no violin, Hiki the movie. While on their quest to stop... That looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. And to the point where I would be shocked if a Yu-Gi-Oh card was not based off of this character. While on their quest to stop the Demon King, the violinist Hamel, the pianist Rael, and the magist Flute, and the female warrior Sizer stop in a small kingdom and destroy a rampaging monster. While giving the 4 heroes a welcome, the king and queen explain that their daughter has been kidnapped by a monster living in a nearby castle. They agree to go rescue the princess and defeat the monster. However, the enemy castle is heavily guarded. There's also an alternate TV version of this. Yeah, that's a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh card. I don't know what Yu-Gi-Oh card I'm thinking of, but that dude is a Yu-Gi-Oh card. And... yeah, I don't remember what Yu-Gi-Oh card, but that man is a Yu-Gi-Oh card. For sure. For sure. Anyway, this is vaguely familiar to me, but I will be skipping on it. Excuse me. We might need to split this stream in 2. I'm gonna be real, because we have been going for fucking ever on this. And it's like super past my bedtime. I can't believe... So I guess 1996 is the year anime came back. Dragon Quest Retsudan Roto no Monsho. Look, we knew it was going to happen at some point. 2-parter? Yeah, I think this might need to be a 2-parter. Dragon Quest Emblem of Roto. This might need to be a 2-parter, unfortunately. Mahojin Guru movie. Magical Girl Guru movie. The hero Nikkei and magic user Kukuri learn of the Pickle of Happiness, an item that will... grant a wish to one who eats it. With the help of the old friends, they must beat the monsters to the pickle and convince the guardian dragon to give it to them. This is Toilet no Hanako-san, a short movie based on the Japanese urban legend. Not to be confused with Hanako-kun. This is Nintama Rentaru movie. In the movie, the Dokutake ninjas steal a shipment of saltpeter from Shinbei's papa. You slept in today, or I did also, but I should still get to bed at a semi-reasonable time, which I've already missed the boat on because I wasn't expecting the stream to go for this long. I'm probably going to have to stay up for another hour or 2. They plan to use it to create a medicine that will make them fly and become super ninjas. Dunzo, whose father was transporting the goods, stows away and is taken to Dokutake's secret headquarters when Shinbei informs the school. I legitimately thought this would take like an hour and a half. So... Yamada Sensei and Doi Sensei's rushed to help, but Hagumi decided to take matters into their own hands and try to rescue Dunzo themselves. Things don't go according to plan, though soon they all need to be rescued too. Fortunately, Rikichi, Yamada's cool son, is around to help out. In fact, before long, everyone gets into the act, but Rintaro and his friends stop Hippose before it's too late. Look, my brain didn't receive any of that information, but it seemed so boring that I'm okay with that. Which is to say that my brain would have received information if anything interesting about that plot sounded even remotely entertaining. Oppo World Giant Baba 90 Pun 1 Pun Shubu. Animation based around the real-life Japanese wrestler Giant Baba. Baba Sohei, January 23rd, 1938 through January 31st, 1999. I've heard of Giant Baba. Alright, here's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at summer of 1996. We're going to see how many anime came out in summer of 1996. We're going to see how viable it is to actually finish this era. First off, we're rocking 4. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. That might have been 30. I don't know. It doesn't really super matter. 31, 32, 33, 34, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. We'll skip that one. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, no, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, yeah, fucking 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. Yeah, we'll be here all fucking night if I have to read 64 more fucking anime. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do, okay? Here's what I'll say. I want to stream again this week. I will aim for Friday. What I was going to do is we were going to start KOTOR on Friday. But what I think I'll do is I will finish off 1996 on Friday. That is going to tank my fucking impressions on YouTube. Because every time this show drops, my impressions fucking die. But I'm going to aim for Friday. No promises. I will aim for Friday stream, where we will finish off the remaining half of 1996. So look forward to that. I will not pee. Oh, no. You'll miss such amazing anime discussions, such as The Adventures of Kotetsu. You know, I'm making fun of Kotetsu. I guarantee you I'm going to watch this. What I'm saying is, don't worry, I'm sure you won't miss much. This is your favorite? Why? This is the worst thing I do. Oh, shit. Well, anyway, yeah, we are gonna have to, I think we're gonna have to call it, because I need to fucking sleep. Unfortunately. The VOD will be up. If you're being real, the VOD will be up. Probably at sometime in March. No, maybe not March. Maybe sometime in March or April. Probably not April. Probably March. The VOD will be up sometime in March, I would assume, for this, if you end up missing the Friday show. Delve into insanity. You know what? Fair enough. That one Orange Road movie that exists because people hated the last Orange Road movie, but instead making it cover the manga's ending, it made up its own bullshit story. Yeah, so I'll aim for Friday, but it's really fucking late. I need to try and get some sleep. I'm sure everyone else does, as well. So hope to see you later this week with more SACing Mal Eternal. I'm sorry, but real talk, this would be a 5-hour stream and nobody wants that. So, alright. Hope y'all had a fun time. I've been Sagrabolic, your voice of hope. I was actually falling asleep. See, there you go. And it looks like we're going to have to do KOTOR next week, probably, maybe. Stupid Valentine's Day ruining my SACing Mal Eternal. Oh, yeah, it is Valentine's Day. Oh, shit. All right. Well, you know what? I'm not rescheduling. Fuck it. I'm your Valentine. Bye bye.